I told the principal that his punishment was dumb and took my daughter out for a fun day instead. My 8-year-old daughter Emma came home from school last Tuesday looking completely defeated. She dumped her backpack by the door and just sat on the couch without even turning on the TV, which was weird because she always runs straight to cartoons. I sat down next to her and asked what was wrong. She told me she got in trouble at school for standing up to this kid named Tyler, who had been picking on her friend Madison for weeks. Tyler had been calling Madison names because she wore thick glasses and had trouble reading out loud in class. That day, Tyler knocked Madison's lunch tray out of her hands in the cafeteria and laughed when her apple rolled under another kid's feet. Emma walked over and told Tyler to stop being a jerk and help clean it up. When Tyler refused and called Madison a name I won't repeat, Emma pushed him away from Madison. The lunch supervisor saw Emma push Tyler but didn't see what happened before that. Emma tried explaining the whole situation, but Tyler acted like he was just minding his own business. The supervisor marched Emma straight to the principal's office. Principal Stevens called me that afternoon and explained that Emma would be suspended for 3 days for physical aggression and that she'd have to write a letter apologizing to Tyler. He said they had a zero-tolerance policy for violence and that Emma needed to learn there were other ways to handle conflicts. I asked if he looked into what Tyler had been doing to Madison. He said that wasn't relevant to Emma's actions and that 2 wrongs don't make a right. I told him I'd pick Emma up and we'd discuss her punishment at home. When Emma finished telling me the story, I realized she had done exactly what I'd want her to do. She stood up for someone who couldn't stand up for themselves. Yeah, maybe pushing wasn't the best choice, but she's 8 years old and she was protecting her friend. I called Principal Stevens back and told him the suspension was ridiculous. He got all formal and said the decision was final and that Emma needed to learn consequences for her actions. I said she was learning consequences all right, just not the ones he intended. The next morning, instead of dropping Emma off at home while I went to work, I took the day off. I picked her up at 9 a.m. and told her we were going on an adventure. Her face lit up for the first time since Tuesday. We went to the Science Museum where she spent 2 hours playing with the hands-on exhibits. Then we hit up her favorite pizza place for lunch, where she got to order whatever she wanted. After that, we went to the arcade and she beat me at air hockey 3 times in a row. While we were playing skee-ball, she looked up at me and said she felt bad about getting suspended. I knelt down and told her that sometimes adults make dumb rules and that she did the right thing by protecting Madison. I said I was proud of her for standing up for someone who needed help. We finished the day at the ice cream shop where she got a sundae with extra sprinkles. As we sat there eating, she asked if she was going to get in more trouble for missing her suspension day. I told her not to worry about it. Principal Stevens called me that evening, pretty annoyed that Emma wasn't at home serving her suspension. I told him his punishment was teaching my daughter that protecting others gets you in trouble, which was backwards. I said we spent the day learning about science and having fun because those were better lessons than whatever he was trying to teach. He threatened to extend her suspension, so I told him to go ahead. I said I'd take another day off work and we'd go to the zoo this time. Emma went back to school Friday and came home with a huge smile. Madison had brought her a drawing that said, "Thank you for being my hero," with stick figures of them holding hands. Apparently Tyler had been moved to a different lunch period and was being watched more closely by teachers. Principal Stevens never did extend that suspension.